Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee questions. What's today's topic? Let's talk about another project you can do and you can make money, and it involves lettering and horseshoes. So let's say that you were able to get some horseshoes, whether you got them off eBay, locally, or whatever else. You're going to need a way to heat them in order to bend them. And you can bend them with different things, like a piece of pipe you can put over it after it's heated. You can bend them. You can use pliers, whatever means that you have available in your shop. So I did that, and I sold three, we'll call them signs. It said welcome. It's all over the web. There's tons of pictures, but you don't have to make it say welcome. It could say Johnson's Barn. It could say anything you wanted, really. But let's talk about how you make them. So when I was first approached by a place up north, it said, hey, can you make us some signs? And it had, one of them said tack room, one of them said welcome, and the other one said, I think, bathrooms with an arrow, or I don't know, whatever they wanted. I haven't completed that one yet, but I did complete, a few of these. Never did them before, thought I'd give it a try. So let's talk about each letter, and I'll tell you how I did it, and then you can decide how you want to do it, maybe. So with the first one, we're going to make a W. That's right here. So I just lined one horseshoe up over the other one and figured, okay, that's kind of where it looks like be a good place to cut it so that these are all, in alignment or close to it. I just made a mark. I cut it with a 4.5-inch angle grinder. I welded it on here, and then I took my 4.5-inch flat disc with an abrasive wheel, 80 grit. You can use 60, whatever you got. And I went ahead and I ground this surface down. I had a friend of mine go, well, I got some and they're really rusted. Well, that's what you use your bench grinder and a wire wheel for, and you can clean them up. That's what I did here. And it also helps you to kind of weld prep it before you try to weld it, other than, you don't want to be welding rusty metal. So clean them up. You're going to want to paint them or do something with them anyway, and if you don't want to do that, when you're done, throw some water on them, leave them outside, they'll re-rust quickly. Okay, so this is how I made the W, okay? All right, here's an E. Actually, in the word welcome, there's two of them. So here's the E's. Now, I went ahead and all I did is I just cut the tips off of one of them and put them in the middle of the horseshoes. That's all I did to these. And then I used a 4.5-inch angle grinder and I cleaned it up. And you say, okay, so that takes care of three of these. These were easy to do so far. Okay, the C in there is just a horseshoe. That's all it is. Okay. So far, no big deal, real simple and easy to do. And the M is nothing more than the same thing that you did with the W. Okay, it's right here. Oops. And there it is. You can see where I used the 4.5-inch angle grinder again. I cleaned it all up. Okay. Wire wheel, I got all my metal clean. These things will be ready to paint when I make it to that point. Okay, the O right here, I just took two horseshoes, put them together, kind of approximated, and you can do this. This one I did a couple of times before I could get the O the way that I wanted it to. But it is what it is. It's a learning curve. Never did it before when I first started these, but you learn real quick. You can make pretty much any letter in the alphabet that you want. But here's the O. So I cut it, put it up there so that these two tips were touching on two horseshoes. Or you cut the middle out of one. You could do it a couple of different ways, and you make the O. Okay, so what was the hardest one to do in here is the one that requires bending. So here's the L. Okay, now the L is going to stick down, and in a few minutes we'll switch over to questions and answers. I'll show you some pictures off of the web of ones that are completed. But how did I do the L? You have to have a way to heat this up. I have oxyacetylene, so I got it hot, I slid a piece of pipe over this, and I started bending it till I created this vertical pattern right here. Now this is still curved real bad down here. So put it in the vise, heated it up, and I bent it out straight. Then with some of the Harbor Freight tools that I have, I've got these sledgehammers from out there. I've got like 3 of them. They were inexpensive, even using the coupons. These things have worked real well for me. So a lot of stuff people can complain about Harbor Freight, but they do have things that are very well worth buying. And I think that those are. And I've got 3 different sizes of them, including the ball peen hammer for different things. This is how I made the L. Now the L is going to stick down more, and I'll show you those in the picture in a few minutes because I'm making up a bunch of letters out here today. And I haven't put them all together and done any final welding. But I'll show you some of them. You know, we'll do the question and answer part of it. So in making letters, you can make it say anything you want, like I said, but you'll have to have a way at times to be able to heat this. Oxyacetylene has worked fine for me. You might have another method, but somebody said, well, you can use MAP gas. Okay, I don't know. I haven't tried it. It would be more inefficient for me because I do have the oxyacetylene set up. But anyway, there's the L. Okay, so 4.5-inch angle grinders. It doesn't matter, whatever you got laying around. I happen, through garage sales and Craigslist and whatever, happen to have one of everything. I've got a Bosch Milwaukee, you know, a Makita. I've got 2 DeWalt's. And somebody's like, why do you have that many? Because I have different wheels on each one of them, so I don't spend time swapping out the wheels. I can just quickly, you know, keep moving along. That was more coincidental. It's not that I do, you know, like every day, like a bunch of production work or something. I just was picking them up for 10 bucks. One of them I picked up for 5 because the guy thought it just didn't work anymore. And it was just a loose wire, and I had to make a handle for it, and you know, you play around with this stuff. Anyway, getting back to the lettering, yes, you can make money doing these. You can make them look decorative. Now, on these, what are some ways that you can finish these? Okay, so I gave these people an option. I said, look, I can put water on them, throw them outside, I can let them re-rust, and then when they're rusted, I can use a clear finish on them. Now, my favorite clear finish is Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Clear. And you can get it in satin semi-gloss or gloss. I use gloss most of the time. You can do it that way, and it'll put a protective coating on there, or you just leave them alone, let them continue to rust out. Now, there is another way that I've done these where I use textured paint. If you walk into Home Depot, Lowe's, or even your hardware store, you're going to go over and you'll see a section where there's textured paint. Hang on a minute and I'll show you a can of it. Okay, so again, this is Rust-Oleum. Where do I buy it? I buy it off Amazon. Yes, I'm an affiliate. Yes, I make a little tiny bit of money. I use it to feed the stray animals. I've got probably 6 or 8 stray cats that hang around the shop people have abandoned. I've got a food feeder, water. They hang out with me. They're no trouble. But back to this textured. This is called hammered. I mean, this is kind of a nice color. You know, it's got some brown speckles of black. You can get textured black. You can get textured in a lot of different colors. People really seem to like this rather than just leave them, you know, that rustic, rusted look. Other people, like at the ranch that I'm making these for, they don't care. They just want them rusted. They want them to look like old westernry, you know, western kind of a theme. So they just wanted me just to leave them alone. They don't even want anything on them. But I'm just explaining, you can put lots of different finishes on these. You can even use black if you want to. Whatever. I mean, you know, you can come up with your own method, I mean, of finishing them. But the point being in this is you can make all of these letters. Just make sure you have a way to heat it up. That's all. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the green screen and, you know, we'll do questions and answers and we'll wrap this up. I'll be with you in just a minute. Okay, so here we are inside later in the day. Anyway, the questions and answers from the forum. One of the first ones is, how well do I prep these before painting? On the horseshoes, not much. I use that wire wheel on that bench grinder. I clean them up real well. You know, weld them. You know, you like I said, you use a 4.5-inch angle grinder. You take your welds down how you like them. I clean them up that way, and that's about it as far as, you know, doing anything prep-wise for paint. What size wire are you using? I used 030. It was in the machine. If you have 025, 025 is going to be pretty much fine for anything you do in your home, shop, or garage. even auto body stuff. When I was doing that Willie's truck restoration we talked about in one of the other videos, I used 025. I just happened to have 030 in the gun. I mean, the horseshoes are a little thick. It worked fine, but you can use the other, yes. Regarding, do I put primer on these before, I paint them? No, not on these horseshoes. I don't. You can if you want to. I just don't feel it's necessary. This is just like Art Deco, meant to look rustic kind of a thing. So no, I don't use primer. Do I do anything else after painting them, even if I'm using the textured? Yeah, a lot of times I'll still use that Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Clear. It just gives it a nice finish. It gives us a nice protection over that finish. You don't have to. I mean, the textured paint looks great. I mean, just the way that it is. You don't have to do that, though. But if you wanted to, it's not going to hurt anything at all. Is there a faster way to make them rust? I suppose. There's lots of methods. You could do a YouTube search on making metal rust, but I get these things wet. I throw them outside. I mean, I get them wet now and then, and in a day or two, you can already see they're starting to rust. They rust rapidly, or at least for me and, my experience, they do. So then you can let them rust to whatever point you want, or you can throw them out in your garden or something, I suppose, and let water and sunlight keep hitting them, and they'll rust out on you quick. I don't go, I don't use any of these acids or any of this other stuff. I'm not in that big of a rush. And like I said, the methods that I use are real simple, and they do work. How do I hang these? Okay, there's a few different ways. I mean, you can make little tack weld like eye hooks on each end of this, and you can use thin chain and come up like in a V pattern and, put a loop on there or whatever, and you can hang it that way. Another way that I've done this and the way that I ship these is I drill holes in them. In the case of the welcome sign, the one that I made before, I drilled 3 holes, one on each end, one in the middle, like around that C, and I used a chamfer bit. So that way when they use drywall screw or whatever screw they're using, if they wanted to, the screw will actually go down and look like flush rather than stick up and out. It's just an added touch. It takes like about a minute. I mean, if you have the bit and the drill press to, make that countersink hole. But I do that on almost everything that I ship. I always put that countersink on there. It's fast, it's easy, it looks better. Yeah, well, okay, there is a way to fix that. You saw in a couple of them where I've got a really bad imperfection, like in, the bottom of like the horseshoe in the U part. It's not a big deal. Before I'm done, I'll just put some MIG wire or weld some MIG wire there. I'll let it, cool down or whatever, and I'll hit it with that 4.5-inch angle grinder and a hand file, and I can blend it in to make it look like that blemish was never there. So, you can always do that stuff too. You just have to look at everything when you're done. Decide, do you want a little more, sanding and grinding? I mean, do you need to fill in an imperfection? Or what do you do? But, I like to ship things off and make them look as nice as I can. So how do I sell these? Okay, I keep pictures on my phone. I show them around at work. I'm not making a living doing this. It's like a side hobby. I make some extra money. It fuels my hobby for buying other things and stuff like that. But primarily the only thing I use, I take photographs of things, or sometimes like the picture here that you see, because like I said, this isn't mine. I had this same picture on my cell phone. I don't know whose it is. I don't know where it came from. I show them around and somebody will look at it and go, hey, that's really neat. Can you make me one? Sure. And, I give them a price and we go forward, or they'll tell me, hey, can you make one that, out of the horseshoes, but can it say my last name, like Williams, or, whatever the last name happens to be? And I say, yeah, sure. And, I sell things that way. I mean, that's just the way I do it. It's not an aggressive, sales technique by a long shot, but that's up to you. You can run ads, Craigslist, or whatever you want to do. Okay, so I'll wrap this up. So what's my best advice to you? I mean, just like I did on this project, I hadn't done it before on the first go around, which you saw today. I was doing it again. I mean, after you do it once or twice, you are much more comfortable. You're much more behind the learning curve. But, sit around, come up with all the excuses of why you can't do it. You're unable, all this stuff. You just have to not think of the word no and just go out there and do it. Nobody's watching you. Like when I made the O, if you mess up, who cares? I mean, just throw it out, grab another horseshoe, start over, do it 2, 3, 4 times until you kind of get it down to the way you want it to look. But, You know, I tried taking one, it was probably too small, and bending, you know, those top parts closed. It looked horrible. I tried another one by cutting it in half and playing around. It didn't turn out so good. Then I cut a smaller section out of it, and then I got what you saw in the video. So you just got to get out there and get after it and try it, and don't worry about screwing up. I mean, who cares? I mean, don't even sweat it. You know, you'll do fine at it. I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe. Keep following me. If you got questions, you know, let me know. You have a better way of doing it, drop it in the comment below. I mean, just let me know. And I'll try to leave you links on things that I get off Amazon. And, you know, you can go there if you're having trouble finding them locally at the big box stores. All right, I will see you on the next video. We will figure out something else to talk about or another project to do. And I'll see you again soon, folks. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.